Hey guys, Captain Todd Walker here. I just wanted to do an unboxing. I never done one. Um, it's a pretty cool deal I got on PennFishing.com. They're selling a lot of their old stock for 50% off. I am a light tackle captain here in Southwest Florida, Sarasota, Florida. Um, Been a captain now for 2 years. Been on the water all my life, and I've always used Penn reels. I mean, I go back to the early 70s when my dad gave me my first spinning reel, and I used it all the way up until the early 90s, and a buddy of mine said, "Hey Todd, you need to retire that thing, put it on your shelf," because he knew my dad gave it to me. And I kept them up, and it was easy to keep them up, just keep grease and wash them off. And then I went to the old Z series, which were great. I still used them. I still have a couple still rigged up. I mean, they're strong, heavy duty reels. I use them on my Zabinki rigs, really, is what I use them for now. And then I went to the graphite, and I used the graphite all the way up until now. They're not braid ready or compatible, I guess you could say. I'm always getting line loops. I'm always going through braid like mad. But I can't say I'm cheap because I love the quality of a Penn reel. And I know there's others like Shimano's and whatnot out there. And I do agree, Shimano baitcasters are the best. I got a couple Calcuttas. For bass fishing, I've always used Shimano. Love them. But saltwater, when it came to saltwater, it was always Penn reels. And for me, and I like them. And a buddy of mine that I fish with a lot, he calls me up the other day. It's JC from Rad Reeling. Go check out his page. He's the one that got me into doing this. Or I actually targeted him to get me to do this. And we've been fishing several times. We both live in the same town. We talk a lot, and calls me up and says, "Man, I just bought a Penn combo and another Pursuit 2 for $55. And I'm like, "Really?" And I've been wanting to get the upgrade because I think I've spent more on braid line due to the fact that these reels are constantly looping the line. And I have a tendency of casting for my 90% of my customers I'm casting for. And I just manually flip it over, and you can see me in videos where I'm pulling that loop out or getting it into the V when it should be flat for the braid. It's a downfall, and I was just dealing with it, but I was putting two to two together, and it's like, man, I probably could have bought the best Penn reels ever with all the money I spent on braid. And you guys know how much braid costs. So I said, heck with it. I went on there, checked it out, and I ended up buying 4 Pursuit 2s. And this is it. And what I've read and researched on these, that this is going to be a big time upgrade for me from what I was used to. And I know it's like second to the bottom of the line, but heck, money is tight right now due to the red tide. And I think the media has a lot of our clientele scared out to where they don't want to come down here, which is a joke. But we do have clean water, and we do have plenty of fish. You just gotta find them. Alright, I already took the old graphite off. I'm gonna keep it. If anything, if I do sell it, I'm gonna ask 20 bucks for it, so I'm out nothing. That's probably what I'm gonna do. And I put it on my This is the Inshore Series Ugly Stick. Cheap, inexpensive rod. I hate the word cheap. And I lined it. I went ahead and put backing on it because I was low on this line that I like. It's the new Strand Microfoss. Well, it's new to me. I don't know how new it is. That's it. Right here. And I went with 10-pound tests. The reason why is I like getting that extra long cast. I mean, come on people, we went small in diameter not to go heavier in poundage, but maybe it's just me. As far as going up, oh, I could put 20-pound test on all my rods now, but you still, the rod and the reel or the rod and the drag is still set up for 10-pound test is what I feel. Yeah, the diameter is the same, the harder it's going to break. And I really don't get braid snapping, so I went with 10-pound test because you could get that extra couple yards on the cast to get you into the spot or keep the fish away so you don't spook them out, or the customer on the boat don't spook them out with all the noise and whatnot. But anyhow, I'm going to show you a couple knots. I tie a uni knot to the reel, just a small 3 loops around, and then I do a uni to uni from the mono to the braid. And then before I put a leader on, I was always taught, and I've been tying this for years, so it comes easy for me, is the Bimini twist. And we nicknamed it Bimini twist in our family because we got an Emily, so it kind of rhymes. Anyhow, so it's not the exact Bimini twist from the book, but it works. You get double line at the end. It holds the mono a lot better, I feel. Yeah, I know how to do the clinch. I know how to do all those other knots. But this one, I could tie on the water when I have something break. A leader, or I have to retie a leader or something. I could tie it on the water quickly. You know, well, somewhat quickly. But you got to turn this 20 times to double line. Okay? I lost count. So 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And then you put it on your knees. And then you leave yourself plenty of tag, and you'll have a series of loops. You spread your knees, and as that knot tightens up, or the line tightens up on each other, you bring this tag to where it folds back down onto itself. So you're going to have a double loop coming down. And then you take your farthest one away from you, or the closest one, and you put a 1/2 inch on just this one single line here. I'm sorry, I'm out of view. And then you take a 1/2 inch here on this side, and you 1/2 inch that, and then you cinch it up. And then you take both of them. Like I say, this isn't by the book, this is how I was taught. And then you take this line, double 1/2 inch, and that's that. And usually, sometimes I stop at 1, it works, but I put 2 in, and you'll come out with something looking like that. I don't know if it's showing up. There it is. See it? That's my Bimini twist. And then cut your tags as you go. I always try getting as close as I can. I don't like that tag coming through my eyes. And see that right there will go through all the eyes and even up into the reel. I mean, it's a good little knot and it's fast. And then what you do is you find both lines and you get them together, marry them where they're both even. Okay? You hold that, and then you grab your leader. I usually tie a leader as long as my rod. So that way, if I only got this much leader to cut, I cut it and move the hook up. It's just my preference because that knot will go up through the eye and so will your leader. So anyhow, I do a line to line knot here with double, and the trick is you got to make sure you keep that double line evenly. So you just do one more check, and then what I do is this is my leader, this is my double end. You take it and you make a loop, and then you pass this side, both tags at the same time, through 3 times. Some people may do 4s. It's very hard to see this, but you get 3 times through that. So there's that. And then, as y'all know, wet it. Pull it down. And sometimes you gotta get a little bit tighter. You just gotta make sure you get all the slack out of this knot. Can you see that? Maybe not, maybe. I wish I had a different color line, but. And then I cut all the tags off this. And, see there? I did pretty good. I mean, you're not going to be perfect the first couple times, but any knot, if you want to tie it, you need to be able to tie it on the water. And the more you do it, the better you get at it, and you won't leave no slack in your knots. Any knot that has slack in it is not a good knot. So if there's any slack in it, which I don't really see slack in this, it kind of looks like a little figure 8, is a weak knot. Weak knots have slack in them. So what I do from there is I snell all my hooks now. It's a little bit more time, but it's very important, and I'll show you why in just a minute. Okay, it looks like I went 3 times, but it's on there tight. Can you see it? That's snelled, and it went through the eye of the hook on the opening side. You go through. And then you go ahead and cut this tag. I've heard of people leaving that tag on. So the reason why you put it through the eye of the hook on the mouth of the hook is for this reason right here. Oops. Gotta put it where y'all can see it. Say this is the fish's mouth. When I pull this hook out, or the fish makes a run for it, I'm trying to see if you guys are gonna see it. It's gonna come up every time, and it's gonna be caught on the corner of his mouth. Did you see that? I'll do it one more time to see if everybody saw it. But I'm going a little slow because it is a cub, and it does look like it doesn't want to do it. But there, it's gonna grab it. So when that fish makes a run, or it's gonna strike at it or hit it, it's gonna go to the corner of his mouth, and it's always gonna face the corner of his mouth as long as you put the snell through that end. And if you start going this route with the snell, it's guaranteed to have a better hook ratio. You're not gonna lose as many fish by doing this. And it's one of the strongest knots to tie to the hook. Maybe start moving my weight. But look at that. Can you see that? Let me get it for you guys. Just want to say, hey, thanks for watching. I hope that helped out a little. Maybe you could save some money by going to pennfishing.com. This is Captain Todd Walker, Sonofafish Carter, Sarasota, Florida. Look me up. Let's go fishing.